everybody, this is Chris at Reptiles. Thank you for joining me once again. I appreciate it. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. What that does for you is it keeps you in the loop of all my new videos. Also, if you hit that like button, kind of lets me know if you like my video, if I should try something different. Today I'm going to talk about something I should have done a long time ago, and that's about my ARS racks. I'm going to give you an honest review today. Are they worth the money I paid for them? Do they make my life that much easier? Would I buy more? Are there better options? So, first of all, I'm gonna go downstairs. We'll go in front of my racks. I have two of the exact same. I have the 50-40. It's the juvenile bins. They work pretty good for up to about, I'd say about 2,000 grams. Then you gotta move them up. Then I plan on going into the 55 or the 70s. Either one will work. The 55, unless you get really big, it's the same size as a 70 tub. It's just that it's skinnier. I know a lot of people that's been breeding for a long time have successful with the Freedom Breeder version. So when I first started out, I started out with homemade racks that I made. I went and got some PVC racks, cut the little tubes down. I took some ducting tape, that's that silver tape, used some heat tape that I put together that I made and soldered myself. I got that from a bean farm here in Washington, and it worked okay for me. It did really good. It kept my snakes healthy. I had to monitor it a lot more. I was kind of worried about it, so I was always monitoring it. But I had less snakes, and it worked for me. It did okay. Then I moved up to Serpent Rack. I got some little ones. I got some little, they were Vision 10 rack, and I got something else. I think I got like the smaller ones. The little, it was made for the hatchlings. I moved up to that. Those worked really good for me. They were actually a big upgrade. They really helped out. They kept the humidity a lot better. The temperature was better. The only issue I had with that one is like every rack was kind of different. Because I'd be at like 93 up here. This would be about 89. It was okay. It just said the heat was not as nice as the ARS. I'm not gonna lie, the heat on the ARS is a lot better. Then I went to the Reptile Basics. I don't know if it's an upgrade, but it's a side grade from the Sea Serpents. Just that they're cheaper, and I still use those today. I can actually show you one if you want. It's just I use them for hatchlings, some extra hatchling racks. My main racks are ARS racks. Also, are Freedom Breeder racks better? And why did I choose ARS? Well, before we go downstairs and look at my ARS racks, I'll tell you why I chose ARS over Freedom Breeder. Freedom Breeder, I don't want to bash either one. They are better than ARS racks. I wouldn't say they're so much better that it's like night and day, but they are slightly better than the ARS racks. The ARS racks have better tub material. The Freedom Breeders have better tubs. The Freedom Breeder, I don't like the tubs. I have a friend who has a Freedom Breeder and an ARS rack, and he put them side by side. The build of it is a better quality, I would say, but it's welded. It'll last forever. Stainless steel is amazing. It's real nice. The tubs of the ARS racks, whatever tubs material they use, is better. It holds up better. He's had his for about 3 years now, and his tubs on his Freedom Breeder are starting to kind of change colors. His ARS rack, he got the same time, and it's actually staying the same color. On my ARS racks, I've had them for a while, and they're staying the same color. So, but the rack build's better. I do like the tubs of the ARS, the material of the tubs of the ARS better. And I'll tell you one thing I don't like about the tubs on the ARS, and that is where they put the cup placement for the water. Even though I can ask without no cups, I prefer the cups. I'd rather deal with that cup, but the problem is where they put it. I can even show you downstairs. They put it right in the front, and sometimes when you throw the rat in there, they wrap up and they will get it inside the water, and sometimes they'll let it go because it cools down too fast. I've had that quite a few times, so a lot of times I go back in there and check and make sure it's not in the water. That's the only deal I have with the tubs. The Freedom Breeders are further back, and they also kind of work as a hide too because it's a little bit back further. Works really better. But again, I think the material of the ARS is better. I think the Freedom Breeder, the tub, this is just the tub, is the better cup placement. So let's go downstairs and look at my rack. So this right here is one of my 2 racks that I have. They're the exact same. She is about 1,400 grams, and you can see there's a lot more room back there. Also up front here, Marge here. We call her Large Marge. From the movie, from the movies, if you get that. See, she's a pretty good sized girl. She's almost about 1,800 grams, and she's got plenty of room in there. Usually move them up when they get about 2,000. And you can see right here the cup, what I was talking about. It's right here in the front. And what happens is that I drop the rat in here, and they lock up right in this area, and they get it into the bowl. Where the Freedom Breeder is about back right here, and it kind of works as a hide back there, and it don't wrap up. It's better. Let's see what Lilith here. She's called Lilith because she's kind of an ornery little demon. She's not gonna do nothing today, it looks like. One of my Het Desert girls. Hey, sweetie. Let me see here. We got. Let's show you. Let's look at Pearl. She's my only champagne butter. Hey, Pearl. So this rack works really good. You can see all of them right here. This right here also is my hatchling rack. I have 2 of these. I don't have it set up right now because I don't even have any hatchlings right now. Also, you can see over here, I have a little king snake I just picked up. Got them right there. Also, I get a couple of leopard geckos I'm keeping in these tubs. There's my rack. It makes life a lot easier for me. So, do I think this rack's worth $2,000? Well, obviously I do because I have 2 of them, and I plan on buying more. Does it make my life a lot easier? Definitely. A lot of people are worried about this little plastic pieces right there. I got the hybrid. The reason why I chose the ARS over the Freedom Breeder is the shipping cost. This hybrid right here, you can see this is a hybrid. The shipping is not even 1/10 of the cost of shipping a rack from Freedom Breeder. And I've never had no problem with the plastic pieces. You know, I've only had it for about 3 years, or about 2 years, 2.5 years. And I've never had no problem with plastic pieces. I know that the worst case scenario is to say ARS goes out of business. I know people can fabricate me a new piece like that out of metal if it ever comes down to that. That's the only thing that kind of bugs me is plastic. The ARS pure metal ones and the Freedom Breeder pure metal ones. If I had to choose between those 2, I would choose Freedom Breeder. And don't get me wrong, I think our ARS is a great product, and I love the guys down there. It's just that if I had to choose between, if I'm getting a total metal rack, I would definitely go Freedom Breeder. One reason is because it's closer here, and I get better shipping. I live in Washington, and they're out of California. 2, the stainless steel. To me, the stainless steel on these don't make much of a difference. The powder coat's just fine for me because it's a snake rack. I don't have a lot of, there's moisture, but it's not like that bad. It's not like a rat rack where I need to take it down and hose it down. Usually if it gets really dusty, I just take the snakes out and I kind of blow it with my air compressor. I keep an air compressor in here for tools and different things. It's kind of nice to clean the room out and stuff with the air compressor. So I think personally, you ever heard the saying, time is money? Well, with this rack, time is money. because you got to think about these things as an investment. And I'm going to be real with you guys, because a lot of people won't talk about money and making money with snakes. I make money with my snakes. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if I was just a hobbyist, there's nothing wrong with trying to get money back into your hobby. Even if I don't ever become a full-time breeder or whatnot, I'm always going to try to make money with my snakes. So you got to think of these guys as investments. Even though they're part of your hobby, think of them as investments. That's why I always try to breed certain ones together to get certain looks that I know sell really well. And I do have some other things I experiment with. I do have my recessive projects that I'm trying to further along, but I also always keep some back that are just going to be mostly for pet grade. What I mean by pet grade is a pretty snake that you can sell for a pet, like just say a bongo and a banana, just really common genes that make amazing looking snakes. Mojave GHI, they make amazing looking snakes and they sell for a decent price, and you can turn around and get some money from them. And don't get me wrong, you can buy a $20,000 snake and breed its babies and make some decent money. But I'm saying when you're starting out, and also it's easier to turn around a $300 snake than it is a $5,000 snake, especially if you're like me, where I'm only been doing this for about 5 years, where someone like, Justin sells you a $2,000 snake or a $5,000 snake, you're not even going to question and you're going to buy it, which I bought from, I bought for most of them. I've never bought one from Justin yet, but I plan on buying one. He just hasn't had what I needed at the time. I actually did question about one time and I almost bought it, but I changed my mind. But I bought from Ozzy, I bought from all kinds of different people that are, that make these beautiful snakes. But you gotta think of these guys as investments. I mean, I know that sounds really bad. They're still my animals, they're still my pets, and they're still my hobby, but I have to sell them to keep my hobby going. So I think of myself as an artist, and I have these snakes that are like my canvas, and I have to paint a picture with them. And so I keep on upgrading my snakes, getting better snakes, and making better pictures. It's just like if you're an artist, you have a canvas, and the quality of your paints, quality of your paintbrushes can make a big difference. And that's what I think of this, is that even though a normal ball python and a $20,000 ball python, are the same snake, it's just that different. I mean, it looks pretty. No one's gonna argue with me that a banana is more colorful than a normal ball python. It's just what it is. Let me grab one real quick here. This right here is just a normal ball python. She has nothing special about her, she's just a normal ball python. She's one of my breeders. She's a good breeder, but she's just a normal ball python. I mean, she's beautiful. She's a wonderful snake. She's super sweet, but she's just normal. I mean, and I can sell these to a lot of people that just want a pet, but we can get better than this. Now, I know you can't argue with which one's more colorful, the banana or the normal. And I can put a bigger price on this one just because of the color. And that's what it is. I mean, we are artists and we're trying to get the most we can for our snakes. And obviously, the more you add into it, the more it's worth. Same as painting. The more time, the more famous you get, the more colorful, the better quality you make, your picture's gonna sell for more. And that's what these guys are. We are artists and we're trying to make the best snake possible and get as much money as we can. And don't get me wrong, this is not all about money and pushing for money. It's just that the truth is that this hobby takes money and you gotta find a way of bringing more money into it. You're making snakes and you're trying to make them as pretty as possible, and also gotta make them desirable to people. Obviously, not everybody's gonna think the same thing. I might think this snake's more desirable. You might think this one's more desirable. There's people that like light and dark morphs. Some people like different morphs. There's morphs for everybody, but you gotta make something that's desirable that someone wants. So that's what I'm saying, is that if you are thinking of your snakes as an investment, this rack is an investment. It's saves my time. And have you heard of saying time is money? It saves me so much more time. When I made my racks originally, I was always worried about the temperature, always checking it all the time. When I first started out, I used Jumpstart thermostats, and I didn't trust them. I checked them all the time, worried about them. Now, on my ARS, I use Freedom Breeder thermostats. They're my favorite. There's a lot of them I tried. They seem to work the best for me. I don't know why. I like them the best. And it's kind of funny that I have ARS racks with Freedom Breeder thermostats. But it saves me so much more time. That's what it is. I mean, when I set the thermostat at 90 degrees, I know that my racks are almost all 90 degrees. At the bottom, I might be at 89. And at the top, I might be at 90. If I set it at 91, the top will be 91, the bottom will be at 90. It's that much easier. I just set it and forget it. I go in there and I check for, poop. I give them water, and I know my animals are always safe and taken care of. So if I want to go on the road and go to different shows in different places, I don't have to worry about it malfunctioning. I know they're safe, and it works very effectively for me. So what I'm doing is protecting my investments with this rack. I understand that $2,000 is a lot to cough up. And you can also go with plastic racks, and they work for people, and they worked for me too for a while. It's just that this is by far made it so much easier for me personally. Now, that's what's going to be is the convenience of it. That's all it is. I mean, it just makes my life easier. So if you are a go-getter and you can use homemade racks, you just got to monitor them more and always watch the temperature and kind of worry about that. Or like me, I can set them and forget them. I know it sounds like an info commercial where I'm like that. Was that cooking day that rotates? I can't remember what it's called. Set it and forget it. But I don't have to stress about them. I know that they're doing well. My hatchling rack, I worry about that sometimes, but the good thing is they don't stay in there very long. Most of them are spoken for before they even hatch, or I sell them right away. And my goal this year is to get an ARS hatchling rack and also the ARS 55 rack, which is that longer bin that the 40s have, the 40 bin at Freedom Breeder. Now, Freedom Breeder makes a little bit better rack. They're better rack. And again, I tell you, if I was going to buy a metal rack, completely metal rack, I would buy it from Freedom Breeder. Not that I don't love the ARS, not that I don't love the guys there, and they're treated me amazingly well. It's just that it's a little bit better, and the shipping is cheaper for me because it's closer to me. Now, I plan on buying a Freedom Breeder rat rack because you can only get rat racks in metal. And to me, the powder coat don't make as much sense as the stainless steel. I think of because I know snakes are not the most sanitary things in the world, but rats to me are not sanitary. And stainless steel is easier to clean, disinfect. I can go outside, take it to and take a pressure washer to it. It's a lot easier to clean, and it gives me a peace of mind. But also, if I have to choose between ARS and them on the metal rack, my shipping's cheaper from Jesse. And Jesse's a great guy. I love Jesse. I mean, I've dealt with him before. He's really good, a nice guy. The problem is they're both wonderful people. I've dealt with both of them, and it comes down to that the ARS comes with, it's just cheaper, especially with shipping. That same rack, if I bought that from Freedom Breeder, would be about $1,000 more, and I can get 2 racks for almost the price of just 1.5 at Freedom Breeder. But you pay for what you get. But honestly, this rack is amazing. It's been great for me. Has a good depth. It can handle up to about 2,000 grams. I've actually kept a 2,500 gram in there before. It was fine, but it just didn't make me feel right, so I moved it up. I have a Reptile Basic 70 right now. I'm planning on getting something bigger. I told you that 55 at ARS, but I plan on replacing all of my racks with ARS and all my rat racks with Freedom Breeder, and I should be getting one next month sometime. I talked to Jesse the other day, and he's told me that it takes about 3 weeks, so I'm going to pay him, and I'm probably about 3 weeks from now I'll have a rat rack, and that's gonna be nice because I can actually put it right next to this one. It won't, because it'll be so clean. It's gonna be an African soft fur rack, so it can go right next to these guys, and I can have the other rack over there because this one, the other two don't fit right here in this spot. I have to put one across the room and one right here. But this one, the rack I'm getting for the rats will actually fit right here because it's a little bit shorter. Anyways, hope that helps. I should have given this video a long time ago. People ask me, do I like my rack? Do I love this rack? You know, it's a hybrid. I do love it. It was expensive. Yeah, when I first bought the first one, it was kind of hurt my wallet. Now, I mean, I planned for it. I take my money that I make from these things and from rats and from snakes, and I put it away. But like I said, the first one I bought was very painful, and it gets better. So keep up the work, guys. I hope this really helps you out, this video. If you're wondering and teetering on buying an ARS rack or a Freedom Breeder, they make your life easier. Anyways, also, you check out some of my other videos right here. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys. I will see you later. I love you. Next time.